having the right knowledge of the past keeps you ignorant in the future. The lack of knowledge is equivalent to silence, and silence has a way of making a very loud noise, as ironically as it may seem. Some people saw the title of this video and went crazy, but that is due to ignorance. And as you may or may not know, ignorance simply means that you lack the wisdom or knowledge. Thus, you ignore the truth. But allow me to indulge you with the facts. According to scientists, there's only 3 races on the planet. They are Negroids, which are Nubian descendants, Mongoloids, which are Asian descendants, and Caucasoids, which are Scandinavian descendants. So, because of genetic cultural infiltration, many people are lost to the reality of who they are and are extremely infatuated with the lies of what they think they are. I have family and friends of both the English and Spanish persuasion, but do know that Spanish and English are merely languages, not a race.
Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in.
Did you know that the word Latino did not exist before 1946, and the word Hispanic did not exist before 1972? In fact, the word Hispanic is from the Latin word Hispanos, which means Spaniard, and the word Latino is from the word Latin, which refers to the region of Italy around Rome. So that identifies with the Romans. The word Latin means to spread and to lie hidden, and spread and hidden lies is what many have been doing on this subject matter. Before the 1940s, there was only blacks who spoke Spanish and blacks who spoke English. That's all. Now, when you say Latins, we must be mindful to not mix up the Spaniards, which are white people, with the Moors, which are black people. When Carthaginian under Hannibal, who was a black man, was pushed out of Italy, they migrated and took over the northern regions of Africa to a place called Mauritania, which is now called Morocco. They then took Spain in 711 AD and set up Alhambra as an Islamic community, and they ruled it for about 800 years. Then, the Spartans, called Spaniards, who are the Anglo-Saxons, did what they always do, which is divide and conquer through infiltration. One of their own, named Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, who we call El Cid, was used to infiltrate, for he was of service to both the Christians and Muslim armies, and thus he knew much about how the Moors lived and when they prayed, and so he was able to tell the other Spaniards when was the opportune time to attack the Moors and take over Spain. So, in 1492 AD, the Spaniards conquered Spain. But that was not all that they did. When they saw the beautiful black women, they also mixed their blood with them. And thus the Hispanics saw his Spanish was the byproduct of this mixture, which was a combination of the original Nubians of the northern region of Africa mixed in with the Spaniards. And they suppressed their culture and forcefully converted them to Christianity, dominated them with the Catholic faith. Some of the offspring of this mixture migrated in many directions. Some went to Venezuela, Panama, Ecuador, Honduras, Florida, which was a Spanish colony. Some went to Puerto Rico, and the original black people, having been there for such a long period of time, became known as Puerto Ricans, Venezuelans, Ecuadorians, Hondurans, etc. The ones who wanted to maintain their Nubian culture migrated south to Portugal and Angola. And now, because of linguistic differences in hair texture and complexion, the evil ones named the Spanish-speaking Nubians Latinos, and they named the English-speaking Nubians African Americans. And because of this, many of us actually think we are 2 different people. But the truth is, we are all the same, original descendants of Nubia, Africa, as the Nubians. We have all lost our true identity, and thus this type of video is necessary to put things back into proper perspective. The Spaniards' purpose was to divide and conquer us. So they maliciously set out to poison our genes, which produce different complexions and hair textures to distract us from our evolution back towards our divinity. And now our people are being divided by places. And it's sad, because there are some Spanish-speaking countries where our family members have white on their birth certificates, and they're darker than me. The Spaniards knew that by mixing their blood with our blood, it would produce black people who spoke Spanish who did not want to identify with being a Negro. Years of negative influence became the catalyst to reinforce the obstacles that divided us amongst ourselves, and thus we became the less significant minority. When it comes to the hair texture, many of us are infamous in telling their children not to bring home babies on pelo malo, meaning with bad hair. This ignorant notion is a huge problem for those children who are born with woolly textured hair and a family of curly and wavy hair relatives. For this breeds inferiority and complexity right in the household. This had led to many black so-called Latinos to perm, relax, and blow dry their hair to give the temporal impression of it being straight instead of natural. Racism against anyone, but more particularly racism against your own people, is a sick disease of the mind. And the white people who know it just laughs at all of us. For even some of them know that black people come in all shades and hair textures. Another one of the evil one's game is to get you to separate yourself from your own, is nationality. They have us all associating the nation we was born in with our genes. And your nation has nothing to do with your genes. For example, if you was born in a nation known as Puerto Rico, and the word Puerto Rico literally means rich port, this has nothing to do with who you are genetically. If you are born in Honduras, and that word means the devil, it has nothing to do with who you are genetically. If you was born in the Dominican Republic, the word Dominican means devoted to the Lord, which was in order. In Latin, that has nothing to do with who you are genetically. A simple blood test from an honest doctor of your own can give you an accurate account of the race you truly belong to. In conclusion, so-called blacks and so-called Latinos are one family. We developed from the same origin, and it's about time that we all realize this actual fact. So let us stop the racist conversations about hair types and complexion, because although people can lie, DNA does not. I'm Kev Ray, and this is Back to the Basics. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.
Facts we stated, you wanna know something, go back to basics. Most saw a trap and was called the Matrix. The world frivolized, yet it's hard to face it. So I spread truth, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness.